Hello, this is William Brister with SkySwitch University, and in this session I want to cover how to set up web conferencing for a domain. Now, our brand, or what we call web conferencing, our product is the Meeting Manager. Okay, so the first step you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to our doc site, and on the page tree here on the left, you'll see Meeting Manager Web Conferencing. The reason I'm taking you to the doc is because you're not going to do this every day and you're going to need to refer back to the document. So the first doc under Meeting Manager is how to enable web conferencing for a domain. Let's click on that. And what we'll find is the beginning of this document covers how to set up audio conference bridging. Because the audio conference bridge that sits on the SkySwitch platform works in conjunction with the web conferencing platform. We use the audio conference bridge for audio, and then of course we show our screen with the web conference app. Okay, here's the web conference app. I have it turned on for a meeting right now, and you'll see use telephone or use mic and speakers. When you're using telephone, you're using the audio conference portion of the SkySwitch platform. And when you use mic and speakers, you're using VoIP right into the web conference platform. I recommend using the audio conference bridge because I just think that you can run into problems with people using their mic and speakers. You can delay the meeting. So I prefer to use the audio conference bridge. Okay, and the audio conference bridge of the SkySwitch platform works in conjunction with the web conference platform. So let's look in further into the doc. Like I said, the first part of the doc handles the audio conference bridge. Now there's another document and another video that handles how to set up audio conference bridge. I'm not going to get into the details here. You can set up a dedicated conference bridge or an owned conference bridge. Either or will work with the web conferencing platform. The other item you'll find in here as well is that after setting up an owned or a dedicated, you can use a special IVR message that sits on a special extension 02020202 on the system in order to share a DID across multiple conference bridges. You could do this whether you're using it in conjunction with the web conference platform or not. And it gives you instructions on how to set that up. That special IVR message basically just gives the participant the ability to choose the meeting room, which is in essence your extension number, the extension number of your own bridge or the extension number of the dedicated audio conference bridge. So it's a way of sharing a DID across multiple conference bridges. And we do that here at SkySwitch. We have a number, a DID, and we each have our own conference bridges, but we share the same DID for our participants to get into the bridge. You may notice when you call into my bridge, you'll get the message, please enter the room number, and then it asks for the password. So that's what that special IVR message is for. Now, if you go down to the bottom of the document, you're going to see the form that we have for completing the meeting manager setup for a domain. Doc here, it's showing you on the form how to fill out certain fields. And you'll notice some of them are not required, like services code is not required, timeout is not required, schedule is not required. Okay, now let's keep the form here, the doc here, but let's also go ahead and go into the dashboard and click on Manage Meetings. This is how we're going to set up a web conferencing or a meeting manager for a particular domain. So as we click on Add New Company, you'll see your existing ones there. We'll just say Test Company. In fact, I'll say Sample Company Web Conferencing. Okay, so we have our company name. The API key is pre-filled. Now, if you remember on this form, the services code right here is not required. So as I go back, I just leave it blank. The number of meeting rooms, I can set up a number of meeting rooms for a particular company, a particular domain. A meeting room is a lot like a conference room. If someone's using the room, of course, you would not be able to use it as as a host or the leader, right? You would need multiple rooms if you need to use, multiple rooms in the company. The number of participants, and that's per room. The reseller ID will be pre-filled. The timeout field, again, is not required. The after meeting URL, and we have notes here as well. The after meeting URLs, where do you want to send them after the meeting is over? So I'll send them to, our I'll say sampleco.com. So I'll just send them to our main page, but you could send them to a particular page. Let's say you're having a web conference, some kind of sales web conference, and you want to send them to a certain, page after the conference. So you could certainly do that. You have the schedule is not required. URL for invitations. This is now we had you set up branding at the beginning of your setting up your reseller account. There's a document and a video for branding for the Meeting Manager portal, and in that you had to set up a branding for meeting.yourdomain.com and meet.yourdomain.com. The meet here is used for invitations. The web conference platform, when you schedule a meeting, it will set up a URL for that invite, and it uses meet.yourcompanydomain.com in order to set up that meeting URL. Okay, so here you'll have your conference bridge information. So it says dedicated conference bridge DID and your conference bridge leader pin and participant pin. So if you've set up a DID for your dedicated conference bridge, you'll enter that here. And it states it'll only be used if the meeting host does not have an owned conference bridge. Okay, if they have an owned conference bridge, and we're going to answer a question here below as to which we have. If they have an owned conference bridge, then you will not put the DID here in the dedicated conference bridge DID field. So we'll say we have an owned conference bridge. We'll say the leader pin is 4321. The participant pin is 1234, which are common. And then we're going to choose the domain that we want to set the web conferencing up on. It'll pull from the domains that we have created. So if, of course, you will need to have had your domain already added to the system. Now here's where we're going to decide whether we're using an owned conference bridge or a dedicated conference bridge. If we leave this as yes, that means we're using an owned conference bridge. If we set it to no, it means we're using a dedicated conference bridge. There's some options here: allow interactive meetings, allow users to chat. The interactive meetings there's some different types of meetings, and interactive just simply means, like, for example, if I want to take over someone's screen or take control of their mouse, or if I want someone else to take presenter rights and show us their screen, those meetings are interactive. And so when you choose interactive, they have to download an app at the start of the meeting in order to do that interactivity. If it's just a webinar and it's not interactive, then they can just open up a browser and join the meeting. These other options allows users to chat. There's a chat function within the app here at the bottom that you can chat to all your participants, or you can decide who you're chatting to. You can send files in the app. You can allow users to record. And then the last item is whether you're setting this web conference up, whether you're giving this customer the ability to do multi-point video conferencing or not. Now, if you set up multi-point video conferencing, it's an additional cost to the reseller, and of course, I'm sure you're going to want to pass that on with some margin to your customers. But they can have up to 32 users in one. That's the maximum number of video conference multi-points that you can do in one web conference. You could have, let's say, you set it for 50 users, and well, 32 of them would be able to pull up their the webcam and show their video. Okay, so that's answering all the questions, and like I said, the reason we have our form open here in the docs is because it helps you answer those questions, and that's why I'm referring to the document. Now, I want to point out how it operates. At that point, now, once you have the web conference meeting manager set up for a domain, I just want you to understand that the let me get out of this meeting and open it back up. That the users, all users on that domain that are defined on that domain, will then have the capability of downloading the Meeting Manager app and hosting or scheduling meetings. So when they download the app, and they can download it at your your domain. Okay, so ours is at meeting.skyswitch.com. And if you notice down here at the bottom, of course yours is branded and it's your URL with your logo and your colors. But at the bottom on this page, it will have download Meeting Manager. When you download Meeting Manager, you load the Meeting Manager. That user will load the Meeting Manager, and they'll be able to log in with their username and password. And this is the username and password of their credentials on the platform. It's their user portal access credentials, which is also the password that they use voicemail. So that's the credentials they're using in order to log into the Meeting Manager. Okay, so when they sign in, this meeting server address will be pre-filled. Once they sign in, then they'll be able to join or schedule meetings. And host is an impromptu meeting, and I use that a lot. I have people join my audio conference bridge, and then I just host a meeting and give them the meeting ID, and then they'll go to meeting.skyswitch.com, put in the meeting ID, their name, no password. You can add password if you want, but I typically go with no password, and then they join the meeting. So that's how they're signing up for that. That's how they're applying the app and using it, and they can join meetings and they can schedule meetings from here. Now, it's the operation of the app. There's a doc here on the document side, how to use the Meeting Manager app. I'm not going to get into the details of how to use the app. You'll need to read that doc, and there'll be a video that will go along with that document as well. So that is how you set up Meeting Manager for a domain. And again, there's a document and videos for how to set up the audio conference bridging, and then if you need to learn how to use the Meeting Manager software, it's just getting in and using it, setting up meetings, and getting used to the app. So if you have any questions, you can send those questions to onboarding@skyswitch.com. Thank you very much.